that. Do you want to get one too, or someone back home?
Yeah, actually. I'll do that right now.
All right.
Appreciate it.
What have you got there?
I have, actually, okay, well, I just recently turned 30. And
Congratulations.
recently, but last December, but I keep on, like, I'm in denial, so I keep on saying, like, recently. But anyway, actually, what I wore tonight, this sort of dress jacket, actually, in my 20s, I used to wear as a dress, and now it's like, now in my 30s, now I'm wearing pants, so who knows what's going to happen when I turn 40, so that's scary. But, actually, one of my life's objectives was trying to get published before I was 30, but now I read in a magazine recently that 40 is the new 30, so I'm like, man, I had 10 more years, but anyway.
So you're hold up your book.
It's actually a group of writers, artists from Austin that get together quarterly and publish. So I was fortunate to just make it before my 30th birthday. That's a theme, I guess, in public for the age. There you go.
What is your book about?
Actually, well, this one, it's an excerpt. It was originally written as a play, but sort of morphed into a poem. And now it's morphing back into a play, but the format's in here now, it's like a poem. And it's based on a story about the Mexican Revolution. And I sort of changed it around a little bit and made it a little more contemporary. So I can read it as part of it.
That was my next question.
All right.
Yes.
Well, don't mind what to.
Okay.
It's called Nuestra Tierra, which means our ground, our earth. And it starts a little like this. Journey to Nuestra Tierra. Directions. From the Pyramid of the Sun to the train station gets me to Nuestra Tierra. Take a left, past the H.E. Butt. Then another left, at the Guacamole, the Chinese Mexican food joint. Take a right at Cesar Chavez Boulevard, then drive más o menos 7 miles until you see the Taqueria No Que No. Make a right, you'll see it blazing in the sun, you can't miss it. Locomotive transportation jerk me back to the memory of Mexico, 472 steps down to the gritos of the revolution, in search of el macho, es feo, fuerte, formal, y con slick mustache and thick Mexican eyes, inviting eyes that command your body to say yes, even when it says no. You think, Chihuahua, this may be the only chance we'll have to do it. You know how revolutions are, so you do it the way it should be done, without barriers, without borders. Sin hule, tú sabes. Without that pinche plastic barbed wire, this man will take it no other way. Determined eyes that penetrate, eyes that drill, the eyes that don't blink, the eyes that make me dizzy and sick. Por tu gusto, pero me miras con ojos de hermano. With a brother's eyes, you see me. The masculinization of La Pintada, proven in the struggle. I've given up that half of me, the bottom half of me, for the greater good.
All right. Age 30 now for you.
Yes.
Any revolution going on inside you?
There is. Actually, I've just made a decision to leave Dallas. I've been here for 12 years, and so that's sort of evolving into more, exploring these stories that seem to resonate more in South Texas.
South Texas, that's where you're going?
Yeah, I'm going to San Antonio. Yeah, so try to listen in on the rhythm. It's way different than Dallas. Dallas, I've been here for 12 years, and yeah.
How's the theater scene in San Antonio?
Well, that's what I'm going to go, work it up a little bit, and I think there's a receptive audience. But here, the theater scene, I think, is like spectacular. There's at least 10 homeless theater companies in Dallas that produce a season of plays. And that actually don't follow the model of the regional theater. So we call ourselves independent theaters as a euphemism for homeless.
Homeless?
But the good thing about it is independent. We don't have to follow the model of regional theater and have like our schedule planned out a year and a half in advance. We could actually respond to things that come up in our life, in our culture, in our society, and new questions that we have to investigate.
So you're a little more spontaneous in that respect.
That's right, more spontaneous, which I've liked, which has sort of helped me, do things like, Eddie's done with this. You got an idea, you just go for it, you just run with it. And so that's what, I hope we'll see what happens in San Antonio, but I hope to be, follow that model.
I think you will shake up San Antonio. I get that impression.
All right.
Just talking to you. What are you working on now as far as the theater?
Actually, I'll do a little plug. April 13th, we're going to do Eyes of Zapata stage reading here in this space. Starting at 8:30, we're going to have music with Buddy Mohammed. He's going to open up the show for us. He's a jazz musician, and then we'll have the reading. I call it play for screen and live performance, which ultimately I see it the storytelling part video and part live performance, definitely with live music, but how those two can relate effectively on stage to tell the story.
So you direct, did you also write?
I'm adapting it.
Okay.
Yeah, I found that as my little niche for some reason, like somehow, I like to take a good story, and sort of mold it into, how to tell it well. And more like that question's leading me to video.
Good.
Yeah.
You're a lady with a mission.
Yes.
What do you think you try to tell people? I mean, what are some of the overall themes of a lot of your productions?
Overall themes, a lot of people say, man, don't you do a play with that doesn't disman me or something? I don't see it that way. I just see it as, hey, a lot of female voices in our past haven't been given the platform. So I'm just telling, maybe I do tell the stories with a woman's perspective. I find those stories and I like to exploit them.
Who are some of your female role models?
Writers, a woman by the name of Sandra Cisneros, whose work I frequently adapt for the stage. She's a good role model for me, and she lives in San Antonio actually. Yeah, so she was one of the reasons. She was one of the reasons. She helped me get the gigs.
Good.
Well, I have another little excerpt. If we have a little time, I'll do a little more. This one, let's see. That little piece. Let's see. Let me see what would be. Okay, this one goes a little sexy, and then I'll do a little bit, bring it in a little bit. Anyway, there's this the stories about these two women, and one's traveling, you can imagine, from the U.S. to Mexico to find herself, and the other one's going from Mexico to the U.S. to find herself. So they sort of clash. And anyway, this is a moment where there's a seduction because they're both searching for the same man, and one of them finds him, and it goes the seduction. I dreamt about him last night, como cada noche, but he is not to be trusted. He is dangerous. I did not want to be with him, but he convinced me with a kiss on the naked back of the neck, un beso y después otro y otro. His mouth was moving around my body like a spider, exploring every crevice in my body. His besos. I want to wake up from that trip again and again, because when I woke up, you were flesh beside me. I could taste the salt lip on your left shoulder. I could smell the musk of an evening of love. I could touch you and see you rise to greet my hand. You sculpted me with your fingers dancing across the hill of my hip. I woke up and found it was no dream at all. It's happening! Espérate, ¿dónde vas? ¿Dónde me da la gana? No chingues! Goodbye, I'm leaving. Goodbye. He left his essence behind, gritos in my mind, silence, pause. He left his essence behind, whispering barely audible, but there. He left his quintessence behind, I am convinced he knew. Mis lágrimas llegan, buscan hueco en el cielo, any place to escape the pollution of my soul. Ayúdame, mi amor perdido, que estoy sola, siempre sola, buscando el amor que ya no existe. Déjame como la mariposa deja su capullo para volar. This trip is over and you are gone. I want to cry myself into a ball of unarousal. I want to find you and light you up. But I'm sitting here, my thoughts unclear. I'm cold, and my fingers play las mañanitas between my legs. I am cold, I am hot, and I want this trip to stop. Sometimes, I've been told, I read that last weekend somewhere, and a man approached me and said, "Oh my goodness, I'm never going to have to say, I'm not going to be able to hear Las Mañanitas song again the same way." With the, so anyway, right or wrong, that's what it is.
That's good. That's good. Multicultural. Who do you think? Who are you trying to talk to? Everyone? Do you think?
Yeah, everyone, and I guess sometimes basically I throw in the Spanish, just because that's the only way that particular. Actually, that Spanish there is a song.
It's a song.
Is actually a song, yeah. So when I produced it as a workshop production, we had accordion, guitar, and so that was sing for you today.
Okay, that's great. How are we doing, Eddie?
We're doing good. We're doing good. How's those dream questions coming along?
I want you to dream tonight. Do you
Oh,
pay
that's
attention
right.
to your dreams?
Yeah, I do. A lot of times, it's like I don't capture them. It's like sometimes in my lives I go through phases where you're disciplined, and then you go back and you capture them, and that's when when they're fresh or whatever, then you can go back and make sense of them. But man, I haven't done that in a while.
It takes a commitment, a certain type of commitment. Like, I want to remember my dream. I have a pad of paper by my bed, and I write them down when I wake up, so I don't forget them 30 minutes after I'm awake.
Right.
But you have such a great imagination. Have you ever thought about drawing ideas from your dreams, just from the dream content?
Yes, I sort of think that unconsciously, they creep into the writings because, a lot of times for me, dreams sort of help me make sense and answer questions. Sort of practice okay, well, this scenario or this scenario. Sort of that's what I've seen in my dreams and practice what ifs. So that's a lot of what writing is for me, is you're practicing what ifs with another character and things like that.
That's good. And dreams, as always, are the wonderful voice from our unconscious self.
Right, yeah.
And that's a valuable tool. Dreams you want to share with us tonight?
Dreams?
I love dreams.
This one talks about a dream, obviously, warping into, reality. And actually a dream, it's like, man, knowing that you were a dream man, it's like I should have, really thought of a dream, but there's not a dream that lands to me right now. And maybe that's a little sad because, I think that dreams inform, give us a lot of information that, we could make do, even, play with, even creatively. Yeah.
Creatively, and even in our waking life.